Hello and welcome to the United States. I don't think any of you will recognize this airport, or more like airstrip. This is the Cessna Airfield, which is, according to Wikipedia, where the longitude is actually made. So I thought I will make a longer flight with it, not up to its capabilities, but longer in terms of what I'm used to. I'm planning to take this airplane to JFK in New York. It's about 1100 nautical miles, but we might end up as a bit of a stain at the end of the runway, since this is a very short runway. I will just show you in a bit, but let's jump into the airplane and see if we can actually make it alive. So let's start with the checklists as usual, and we have the cockpit inspection to start with. Okay, that's not the APU generator I wanted to. I wanted the standby power to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a bit of extra. It works. So let's switch it on. Let's also switch the emergency lights on to arms. Landing gear handle is down. And then we can go on with turning on the batteries. Surprisingly, we have ground power available, so let's make good use of it. And while the system boots up, let's enter the flight plan. So we are at Kilo Charlie Echo Alpha, the Cessna Aircraft Field, flying to KJFK. There are no departure procedures for this airport. I expect to arrive to 22 left via the Landy 8 arrival. Yes. And after that, of course, ILS 22 left from symbol, I think it was. Yes, symbol. And the minimums is 212. Load. I understand that GPS is not the primary for this. And let me just check, there was an update. Okay, it works. Good, good. So back to the flight plan. Once we take off, we are going to go for Rockney. Where we are going to enter airway JLA at 134 until BAM. And at Butler we are going to enter airway, I think it was 110, yes, Juliet 110, all all the way to now where is it? Let's go with the alphabet. Lejoy. And from Lejoy we are going direct to LVC, where the Landy 8 starts. So let's expand this. And let's also check our route, but I need to see a bit more in the cockpit to do that. Yes, this seems about right. Yes, and this is what I have seen at SimBrief page 2. So this will be our flight plan. Since we are in the US, we will need to go for inches of mercury. And currently there should be 2997 locally. 2997. And I'm sorry about that ping. I will quickly turn sounds off. So let's get back to the checklist. So after the batteries, let's check the gas messages. These seem to be alright. External power. We do have external power and it's indicating 28 volts and no battery discharge. We don't need exterior lights yet. So let's go with the cockpit preparation. We do not have ATIS at this location. Oh. We are flying on Vatsim, so 20 unicom frequency is in order, even though there is no active controller at this location. Let's move the trim to takeoff position. Okay. Weight and fuel in the performance. Weight and fuel. Today it's going only to be me flying, but we have I think it was 100 pounds of cargo. I could not move away. No, I wanted 48. 48? 48? Okay, 49% of fuel then. So we have 7,000 pounds of fuel. According to SimBrief, we need 6,748, so 7,000 is more than enough, especially since it also includes the way to the alternate airport, but we will not go to the alternate airport. At least I don't plan to. By the way, it's Boston. Okay, takeoff data also done. And as for takeoff speeds, I wonder if takeoff data. Okay, so we will take off. Well, it was planned towards 3.5, so let's go with 3.5. Oh, there is no METAR data. We do not know the wind. No wind data. No, this is not going to be a rolling takeoff, that's for sure. And I wonder if we will need to use flaps 2 this time. Okay. Let's say there's no wind. Okay, according to this, our V1 should be 104, V rotation 109. 104. 109. I will leave this as is. Or should I? 121. 185. 185. 121. 185, that's not changed. Okay, so that concludes the speeds. Pressurization 15 feet. I think it should be 12, but I'm not going to argue about 3 feet. We just checked the fuel quantity. Let's check the autopilot.
autopilot.
Before engine start, parking brake is set. Cache messages are the normal ones, but we need now definitely the APU to start the engines. We cannot start the engines from battery or from the external power. We need the bleed air from the APU. Don't need that anymore. So APU is running. Throttles are idle. Where is the start pressure? 0. Okay, now it's alive. Okay, 32. That's what we were looking for. Okay. Waiting for the starter pressure. Still waiting for the pressure. Why is it 0? Do I miss something here? Will it work? Maybe. Starting engines checklist completed. Let's set we are flying eastward, so left set 11,000 feet first. And let's move the heading back to... That's not correct. 3, 5... 0, but that's not... No, that's Luton. We don't need Luton. We are here at Cessna Airfield. 352 is what I was looking for, so 352. Thank you. Okay. Before taxi, checklist, flight controls. Let's do this from the inside this time. Aircraft systems, synoptics, and flight controls. Full left, full right, down, up, left, right. Let's check the... Oh, brakes are already set because of the parking brake. And speed brakes. Also, let's check the TR unlock, TR deploy, and message gun. Flaps to take off, and we are using a flaps to take off this time. Flight instruments and avionics checked. Heading, altitude and altimeters are set. Engine anti-ice not needed. We have a mild 36 degrees outside. Exterior lights, now this is something we do need at the moment. We do not have passengers, so that can be left. I wonder if the only one missing on this list. It is not a checklist, but something similar. So we have taxi lights on, parking brake released, and we will check nose wheel steering, of course. We check the thrust reversers. So let's do taxi. It's not a difficult one. We are going to try and have mercy on this guy. And we were not looking, so he was definitely out of the way. Before takeoff checklist. Flaps set for takeoff. We are doing flaps to takeoff. Speed brakes are retracted. Trims are set for takeoff. Let's move it to 3.0. Ice protection not needed. V speeds are set and displayed. Speed knob is in the FMS mode. Crew is briefed. Radar is not required. Static heat not required. Cleared for takeoff. We are definitely cleared for takeoff. Of course, we are announcing ourselves since we are at Vatsim. Cessna Airfield Traffic Hotel Alpha Lima Mike November, taking off runway 35. Oh, let's not forget that we are now taking off. We need as much runway as possible. Seems like we can make this turn. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, our runway. Oh! Static takeoff throttles. Auto throttle not used this time. Gas messages, brakes, elevator control. Okay, let's push the toga button. Brake. Throttle to 40, then 60, and then all the way to toga. Brake released. Let's see if we can get airborne. Oh, airspeed is alive. 70, 80, 90, 100. Let's try and survive this takeoff. And we did manage it. Positive rate, gears up. Flaps up 1 notch. Flaps up 2nd notch. We are in the air. That's half a victory. Why did we level off? Heading back here, activate heading, flight level change, autopilot, and auto throttle on. Then let's say that activate direct and move heading to nav mode. And that's us en route to our destination. We have reached 11,000 feet. I have preset time to move the altitude to our cruising speed. But first, let's make a step at 350. Flight level change. It's so strange that the flight level change and the VNAV is not at the altitude button. And I don't know, this section makes more sense in the Honda Jet, or I'm just used to it. Could be both. And we are climbing at a mild 6,000 feet a minute. And we are also above 10,000 feet, so no need for these lights. So, after takeoff checklist, landing gear is up, flaps are up, throttle by auto throttle, ice protection not needed, pressurization. Let's see. Climbing at 500 feet a minute. We have reached standard burrow, so altimeters at standard. Exterior lights as required. APU knob off. We won't need the APU for a while. After takeoff checklist completed, let's switch this all the way up to 100 nautical miles. We won't need the charts for a while, so let's change this one to traffic. And then all the way to 40 nautical miles. Or we could do it this way. And on the second thought, we are not very heavy. No passengers, less than half fuel. I think we can go all the way up to our cruising altitude of 450. So, welcome back. We are now 3 minutes from the top of descent. Of course, we are very high, so it's going to be a long descent. But of course it makes sense to do a bit of forward work. So let's just check if we are ready for the descent. So landing elevation is 15, which is close. I do remember 12, and I do remember it right, I would say. Let's just arrival approach. Oh, I'm pretty sure that Kennedy Airport has approach. So runway 22 left, and runway is at 12. So I was right about it. But 15 is close enough, so I guess pressurization will happen correctly. APU knob at or below flight level 310. We are way above flight level 310. Altimeters at transition level we will do, but that's even further down the line. Nonetheless, the last time I checked, the pressure at JFK was 3001. Let's just check it again. 3010. That is difference, so 3010. I will not move that one. We are going to do a full flap landing, no anti-ice. There was 21 degrees, so no ice. Okay. I will take the same speeds as before, so let's make approach speed 135 and VREF 125. Also, as for flap speeds, yeah, those look alright. And of course we will need the landing lights, but that's at 10,000 feet. And while I was talking, we already lost 3,000 feet of altitude. And seems like weather is happening at New York right now. Let's go for for the arrival chart. I left the landing calculations, so try. We have 8,390 feet landing distance available, and according to our landing data we will only need 2,661 of it, with an approach speed of 121 and 110. I plan to arrive a bit faster than that. I'm not that yet confident about my abilities. I'd rather use more runway than try to perfect the landing. We are 15 minutes away from landing according to the FMS. Let's see. And surprisingly, it seems like I am the only one arriving currently to the JFK airport. But still, I will announce myself at landing. We are descending into the clouds, and it is minus 37 degrees outside, so it's time to put on a bit of heating. And since we are the only one arriving, I say let's go direct symbol. That's some fine IMG out there. Let's get our floodlight back. Washington Center just came online, but that does not really matters to us now. We will not fly into their sphere. Let's go for the approach plate. It's 1/10.9er. Let's just check it. 1/10.9er. That's good. JFK traffic, Hotel Alpha Lima Mike November, arriving to runway 22 left, currently at symbol. Okay. Let's start up the APU. And it does start up. Layer after layer of clouds. And now we are below 18,000 feet, so let's get back to feet. 3010. And we are way too high. We need 2,700. I'm doing only 2,200. That is going to be a problem. This way we can catch up to it. And of course we could also reduce our speed drastically. Let's go for 270. Seems like we need a bit of drag to get down to 270. But we could also get even lower. Let's go for 220. And it seems like it's raining outside. We will catch up with the path. And it's a nice glide now instead of a forced fall. Oh, and we are also below 10,000 feet. So let's go landing lights on. Let's go flaps 1, and also let's help with the gears down to meet our speeds. And we can pass that on back to the FMS. We will arrive on 2 left, so I will zoom in on it as much as possible. We can do a really long landing here. Our best bet would be the last exit, Juliet. That's the one that goes straight all the way where we want to be for taxi. So before landing, landing gear is down, flaps 2, that was maybe a bit too soon. V speeds are on, landing distance was calculated, ice protection is on, although it's 18 degrees outside, so it does not need to be on. So I'm turning it off now. Navigation aids are set, minimums are 212, altimeters were 3010. And flaps to approach checklist complete. Before landing, checklist landing gear down, flaps full is yet to be set. We are pretty far at the moment. Don't need that to slow us even further. Oh, and we can also arm approach. JFK traffic, Hotel Alpha Lima Mike November, 10 mile final, runway 22 left. And as expected of these clouds, there is a bit of turbulence. Hopefully we will be able to overcome it. 8 mile final. We are still 7 miles out, or more like 6 at this time. No trace of the runway is in sight, or maybe just as I have said it, it's right in front of us. I think I can see its lights. I am positive now that's the runway. 5 miles out. JFK traffic, Hotel Alpha Lima Mike November, 5 miles final, runway 22 left. miles DME, flaps full. And I will not do an auto thrust landing, so I will turn that feature off. Soon. And now I will turn it off. And autopilot off my airplane. Let's see if I can land.
300.
Why is it showing backwards? Thank you.
200. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50.
Okay. This thrust reverser thing does not really work as intended. And I just passed Juliet. Let's go for Zulu. Not ideal, but that's what I get for messing with the reverse thrust. Why aren't there any outbound lines? Pretty strange. JFK traffic, Hotel Alpha Lima, Mike November, clear of the runway. Oh. So after landing checklist should be completed. So after landing, thrust reversers are stowed, flaps are up. Ice protection not needed. Exterior lights, good idea. We don't need the landing lights, we need the taxi lights. Oh, come on. So, taxi lights. And maybe that's all we need. We also do not need the flight director. Let's just freely taxi. So we are going to cross runway, what was it? 31 left. At the threshold. Should have left the landing lights on for this part, and we will take this left over there this is where we should have arrived from the runway to taxiway Juliet. And no, I did not do that one right. We are not on Juliet. So let's take this left onto Hotel. From Hotel, let's take a left to Yankee. It doesn't seem to be so bad weather from the outside as from the inside. Pretty strange. But instead of wondering about that, let's take a right turn onto Juliet. And we will now cross to right. Let's make sure that there is no traffic there. Let's quickly switch on these lights. JFK traffic, Hotel Alpha Lima Mike November, crossing runway 22 right.
JFK traffic, Delta 105. Departing runway 22 right via Echo Echo.
Okay. I will need to move the map, or I will not see where we are. Let's take a quick stop after this intersection. Or at least slow down significantly. 8 knots is quite slow. So let's move this map. Oh, come on. are steadily accelerating even at idle thrust. Let's move them up a bit further. Right, and let's not go out onto the taxiway. And again, we accelerated to pretty fast. And this should be our exit.
Delta 1054 taking off runway 24 right.
I remember that the Honda Jet was able to make that turn without clipping the wing, but I'd rather not. So let's call it a parking slot. And with that, let's get on to the shutdown checklist. Throttles are idle, parking brake is set. It is. Engine ice protection is off. Engines shutting down. Emergency light off. Exterior lights off. APU off. Standby battery off. And with that, we have arrived to JFK with some strange FPS drops, but still We are at JFK. We have made an 1100 miles journey. I hope to see you on the next one. Goodbye.